Thanks so much for joining this session with Sandy from CIVIC TECH. She's going to tell us a lot, or she's going to tell us today all about CIVIC TECH, what they do, maybe some projects that they're working on. Yeah, so I'd like to introduce Sandy.
Thanks, Sally, and welcome everyone. I am really happy to be talking about CIVIC TECH. Next to my, my son, it is my favorite topic of conversation. So my name is Sandy McKinnon. I'm the Executive Director of Greater Fredericton Social Innovation. We are a local registered charity who supports our nonprofit sector, and one of our programs is CIVIC TECH. So I'm going to share my screen, and although you may have already been through the CIVIC TECH website or had a little look, I'm just going to share and give a little overview of who we are, what we do, and the type of projects that we work on. And I thought this would be a little better than just doing a PowerPoint presentation. So I have my list to make sure I get all the points covered that I want to make sure that I share with you guys. So CIVIC TECH is a group of volunteers who meet every week, and we have been meeting since November of 2017 without fail on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. We've been meeting on Zoom since the beginning of COVID. We had a little break last summer and did have some in-person meetings, but most of our meetings have been on Zoom on Tuesday nights. And these are all volunteers from our tech sector who want to give back to community, and they want to use their skills in order to make our city a better place and support our nonprofit community. So this picture here is a little bit CIVIC TECH meetings don't look like this. At this particular event, there was a conference in town, and so there are CIVIC TECHs right across the country. We are the first in Atlantic Canada in Fredericton, but since we started, we've supported the launch of CIVIC TECH St. John, CIVIC TECH Moncton. We're working on Bathurst, Charlottetown, and Halifax, and maybe even St. John's, Newfoundland. But at this particular CIVIC TECH event, we had visitors from CIVIC TECH Ottawa, CIVIC TECH Toronto, Waterloo Region, Montreal. So we have a big group in this room, and we have people from Code for Canada. So Code for Canada is out of Toronto, and it is their objective to set up CIVIC TECHs across the country. So they are like our mother organization and have been a really great resource. So our URL is civictechfredericton.com. And I just wanted to, while I talk about what we do, basically, I'm just going to go through some of these pictures. So nonprofits come in, pitch ideas and projects to the team, and the team decides if they want to work on the projects. So we've done everything from, helping nonprofits with a complex Excel spreadsheet to developing full-blown applications. We also have, a lot of data folks, data visualization, programmers, developers, project managers, marketing people. So we have such a wide variety of representatives from the tech sector. And more than half of our volunteers are new Canadians. Most of these folks have come here on the Skilled Workers Program and have found a home with the CIVIC TECH team. So I'm just clicking through to give you just some ideas of what some of our members, look like and why they volunteer with CIVIC TECH. That's on the main page of our website. Also, something that's really important to talk about, and here's some random pictures, is that you can see by the camaraderie and the closeness in the room. We have a potluck, We have the Brazilians and the Egyptians, all who's the best one at the barbecue. So there's a Brazilian, there's Egyptian, that's Nagy, that's Ricardo. They're putting together a barbecue. We barbecue every summer. We have some students who are in the tech program. These are Syrian boys. So just to give you an idea that we're not just a group of IT volunteers, we are really like a family, and I'm the mom, that's what they say. So I'll go over some of the projects that we've worked on. Currently, we are, here we go. So this project is called the Caring Calendar, and I was on the Mayor's Task Force on Homelessness. So this is, I chaired the partnership committee. At this event, we brought together about 40 different people from our faith-based group, from our churches, and this included our one mosque and one synagogue. And we were mapping out the services they provide to people in poverty in our community. And the services are quite diverse and colossal. They do so much work in community. So, and anything from GED training, showers, laundry, food, housing, clothing. It's unbelievable the amount of work that our faith-based groups do. And so when we were mapping out all the services they provide, they realized that they could probably benefit from a tool that would help them to do three things. Number one, to coordinate their services, so they're not doing the same thing in the same neighborhood on the same day. To identify gaps, so you'd be able to look at a geographic area in the city and go, you know what, there's no food being offered over in this area on this day and there's a need. And also to use as a referral tool. So if somebody, say they show up for shower hour and they missed it, then the administrative person at the church could go back and look at the calendar and say, hey, you can go to this place. So we launched the Caring Calendar, and now we're working on a second version. Of course, during COVID, many of the services provided by those in our community were shut down quite a bit. So we're just starting to ramp back up on the Caring Calendar. So that's an idea of one of our projects. A project we did this year was looking at some of the data that was collected from the New Brunswick Student Wellness Survey with 38,000 students. And we looked at bullying and exclusion and the effects on mental health. So you can watch the video, and this was a competition at UNB. We often enter the data visualization competition, and this one was especially interesting because we hired all these guys and gals who are mostly the kids of Civic Tech volunteers to actually be the catalyst for the results of the survey, to talk about what the survey results were. And so we shocked a lot of people there at UNB because normally they have charts and graphs and whatever, but we went for a more compassionate presentation. Here's another data visualization. What would it cost for as many people in the households to bring every home in New Brunswick up to the poverty line? There's Mohamed Saleh and Meredith Langille. They worked on this project, so you can watch the video presentation. And then we have Pierrette and Pierre Cormier worked on the hub, another data visualization. We won a hackathon. I'm just going to go down. So this is an interesting project where the leads were Kyle Rogers and Pierre Cormier. They looked at the role our transit system plays in social isolation of older adults in our community. So they looked at the data from 2016, and they also looked at our city's open data portal, which they have quite a bit of information, and there's a rating system based on the bus stops. So if your bus stop, like this one, it's not very clear, but there's a pole in a snowbank. So if the bus stop has a pole in a snowbank, it got a very low rating. But over here you have a shelter, a seat, a sloped sidewalk. That's a really great bus stop. So you got a high rating. They looked at our population, and then they used technology, Esri and Environics, I believe, to project into the year 2028 to identify where the majority of older adults are going to live. So if you have an older adult who might have some mobility issues or anything, to get to on a bus, on a transit bus this way, on the, in a snowbank is very difficult. So here we've identified where the majority of seniors are going to live in 2028, providing our city with a 10-year plan, because we did this in 2018, of which bus stops they need to upgrade over the next 10 years. So really smart, innovative project. And also when Meals on Wheels, so Meals on Wheels delivers food every day of the year. They deliver about 300 meals every day. They have 3 different depots and 20 drivers. And so when they saw this, the executive director, Betty, saw this, she said, this is very interesting to me because the age of the people we serve is around 79 years old. So I need to keep an eye on where the majority of older adults are going to live over the next 10 years. That will help for planning. We worked on our very first project was a Riverwatch mobile application to have forecasting on flooding. And a project we are currently working on is a meal planner, which is in partnership with Greater Village Food Center. And this is a planning tool that will help Greener Village clients to eat more affordably and more healthy. So the team is very deep, working very hard to get this project completed and have a minimum viable product over the next couple of months. Yeah, so one of the really interesting things that has happened with Civic Tech that was not intended was that we became a catalyst for people to find employment. So many people who have come here, and when they're volunteering and working alongside some of our members from the province, from the city, from IBM, Bulletproof, from all these tech companies in the city, it really has helped them find work. And so we've grown into this kind of employment hub. And also a lot of employers are looking for Canadian experience. And so this has been really great for a lot of our newcomers that have IT background to actually get their hands on a project that's really innovative, working and finding community, and at the same time having some experience. I can't tell you how many people I've been a reference for, or Civic Tech has become a reference for, or Civic Tech is known now in the community, in the tech sector, as a really good place to go and find employees. So that part's been really great. Everything Civic Tech develops is free and open source and available to all other Civic Techs across the country. All the Civic Tech organizers like myself, we meet every 6 weeks on an online call, and we just talk about the projects we're working on, see what stuff we can share with each other. We have Civic Tech Ottawa, Toronto, and Waterloo region that are interested in implementing the caring calendar. Our hope with Meal Planner that we can work with Food Centers Canada and every Civic Tech and be able to share that tool with food centers right across the country, because there is not an affordable one available. So something else we've been doing recently because of COVID and not necessarily being able to meet in person is providing some mentoring opportunities, because we have so many smart people with diverse skills. So we've been recording some training on design thinking, TypeScript. So these are all open and available on our website. There's machine learning part 1 and 2. There's Esri training, GraphQL. So there's Power BI. Anyway, Tableau. And so we have a lot of different training opportunities. So that section is under the events and training. We also conducted an IT survey most recently, and these are the results. So we had a little over 100 people in the IT sector complete the survey. 49% of the people who completed the survey were new to Canada or new to the Fredericton area. So there's a lot of very interesting information there on pay scales, on education versus pay, on what's stopping people to quickly find employment, where we have this disconnect between our tech sector saying we need people, and what we know is that it's taking people with IT skills 3 months or longer to get employed, and that's too long. How do we, what do we do to close that gap? And that's some of the things that we want to work on. And now we have the data here to show that it is a concern. It is something we need to address. There's comments in there about people believing that there might be racism in the hiring practices. So the results of these surveys were, this one is just an overview. This one is more detailed question for question. I invite you to have a look at it, but we've shared it with everybody, with the province, people who are in charge of placement agencies, people who have IT companies, HR managers. We've been sharing this as much as we possibly can, and we'll continue to get that information out. There's never actually, we spend a lot of time surveying the companies, but we don't actually survey the people in the sector. So the results were really, really shocking to me. So if you guys want to get involved with Civic Tech or want some more information, under the Contact Us is a form, and that comes directly to me. So I invite you guys to, to have a look, see if there's something you'd like to join. And I think that's it for me. For other areas, something else we created was a Civic Tech Atlantic Toolkit for people who want to start a Civic Tech in their area, specifically to Atlantic Canada, because we do things a little differently in the East. And there was Code for Canada did create one, but it's not the maritime way, so we created our own. So that's been super helpful with the support of ACOA that helped us create this. So that's it. Civic Tech's awesome. I don't know what else to say about it. We do have, yeah, okay, sure. I just saw that question from Yao. Is that it? How do you pronounce your name? Okay, yeah, using the contact. John, all right. Okay. Yeah, John, please. Yeah, use the contact form, and I'll invite you. Typically what happens is I'll send you a message and invite you to our Slack channel, and that's where we communicate. Oh yeah, that's great. John, yes, we need developers. I see we have some of our Civic Tech volunteers on the call. You, Ren, would you like to say hi? Ekaterina is a Civic Tech volunteer.
Yeah, I have joined Civic Tech over a year. That's a really great place to be. And Sandy is like our mom. She take care of everybody. She give us guidance and support. And everybody in the Civic Tech group, we help each other. It's really great place to go. Also, like if you're looking for a job, it's a good place to start because Sandy give you a good reference and help you distribute your resume, introduce you to potential employer. It's really good place.
Thank you, Ren. Hey, I didn't even have to pay her any money for that. There is no minimum requirement, John. I saw your question there. I know we have some, Shanti's didn't make the call. She was pretty busy, but I know we have some immediate need for full stack developers. And so I'm saying that, I don't know what that means. I'm just repeating information. I think it has something to do with React. And so there's no real minimum, but it's not a place to come and learn how to code, right? It's not a training area. It's people who are experienced or self-taught, but at least at a certain level. And then we take on some fun projects. And again, some of it's folks are like Ekaterina, she's a graphic artist and a designer. And so she's helping with interface design and doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Vanessa, for sure. Just go to the Civic Tech Fredericton and what I'll do is I will invite you guys to our Slack channel, and then you hop on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And, hopefully soon we'll be able to meet in person, and we always have pizza. So.
Sorry, I was just going and getting the URL for people because it seems like a lot of people are looking to join. Thank you so much, Sandy. That was an excellent depiction of what Civic Tech is.
MCAF food distribution. So Vanessa, that's Community Food Smart, the grocery bags once a month. Yeah, so that's one of our GFSI, Greater Fredericton Social Innovation. That's one of our projects. Ren, will you put GFSI's URL in the chat, please? Yeah, okay. So there's a 6-minute kind of video scribe that describes who GFSI is, and Civic Tech talks about it as one of our programs. But yes, Community Food Smart is another one of our programs. You'll see that we have far reach. We're well distributed.
Does anybody have any questions while we have Sandy here? If you're interested in volunteering, if you have the expertise or not expertise, but the knowledge, I put the link in the chat, and you can just go on there, and then I think it said contact or join or
under the contact form.
Yeah, the contact form. You can sign up through there, and then there's some. Oh yeah, Marie put it in the chat as well. Lokes, do you have a question?
Hi. Yeah, sure, Sally. I was wondering, how do you choose your projects? Is that you already have the list of projects that you have, or are there the communities or the businesses can reach out to you and brief you, and you start from the requirement gathering and then work on the projects that are very community oriented, So I was curious to know, how do you choose and pick your projects, because all those projects are so amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so we do not develop anything for any businesses, right? Because most of our folks are working all day long in businesses. They don't want them to be working for free for other businesses. We don't do that. It is specifically for nonprofits. So the nonprofits find us, and then I have a chat with them to make sure it fits with the objective of Civic Tech. We have had people from companies try to sneak in, but we're pretty good at vetting them and making sure it's not a business solution. We don't develop free for business. And so the nonprofit will come to the group and pitch the idea that they want to do, and then they leave, and the team decides if they want to work on it. So the team, it's 100% democracy. The team decides who wants to work on it, what projects they want to take. Maybe they'll need some more questions answered, but the people have to come and pitch the idea and the project. And there have been times where nonprofits have come and our team has said, you really haven't defined your problem yet. Or, Facebook can do this for you, or they'll find some free open source tools on GitHub or whatever. So, it's not a yes to every single project, that's for sure. But the team, they're so smart, and so this week we had somebody come from L'Arche, Canada. There's a Fredericton representative. This is housing for people with disabilities, and they're creating a tool. A team out of Vancouver are creating a tool that you can use. It's a bit different in Vancouver where they have big apartment buildings, but it's an app that people in the apartment building can use to communicate with each other. And so they were looking for some a smaller community than Vancouver, like Fredericton, is there somebody who could just test, have a look, and see if they could provide some feedback? So one of the nonprofits that we work with, of course, is L'Arche. And so I was like, absolutely, come and talk to the team. So they put the link to the app in and the team filled it out and provided their feedback just like that. You know, so even just a small little thing like that can make such a difference to a nonprofit that's trying to help their community. And, you know, Vanessa, you talk about the community food smart, the grocery bags. So my coworker, Suzanne, who is the lead on that project, you should see the Excel spreadsheet that she had for ordering everything, for bringing the money. It was so complex. And she had broken links and she was getting so frustrated with it. And I said, just come to Civic Tech, they'll help you. And she did. She sat with somebody in the corner, but now we do breakout sessions on Zoom, and they just fixed her sheet all up for her. So it's, you know, it made all her work a lot easier to do. So we've done a lot of small projects. So one we just worked on was our city gives out about 5,000 bus tickets every year to the local nonprofit community. So as a nonprofit, if I get 100 tickets, one year I got 100 tickets for some programs I was running. And to fill out the paperwork on that tickets, my husband needs to talk to me for a second. Wally, there's like 30 people.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, can you close my door? Sorry, guys. Working from home, you know, the grief. Anyway, so we had to fill it out on paper, who took the ticket, where they were going. And so I had 100 times had to write things out on sheets of paper and then bring that back to the city. And then somebody at the city had to type out all the stuff. And so the Civic Tech team just put together a secure, private, online form for people to complete and fill out. So, and actually the application form that used to be paper, they put that online. So easy online form to fill out the application and the reporting for all the nonprofits, saving so many hours of work. So the city of Fredericton, we work very closely with. They are host all our licenses. They support us very, very much. Anything we need, the city is there. And then we have like donations from companies like Remsoft, you know, who help us pay for our website, some extra little software things that we like to have, and our pizza. So anyway, so
that's really good to know how the projects are thought through and executed. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for Sandy? And if say in a day or two, or even just after we finish this call, you have some questions, I think the best resource is the website. It has all the information that Sandy talked about today. And if you have any specific questions, you can email me and I can try and connect you with Sandy, or I can try and find the answer out for you. But final call, does anybody have any questions for Sandy?
Yeah, I'm just going to put it out there that if you have an IT background and you're looking for work, you need to reach out to me.
That I will second that. If anybody here has any IT background, please reach out again to me and I can connect you with Sandy, or join Civic Tech. I think it would be a great addition to your daily or your community outreach. If nobody has any more questions, I just want to thank Sandy for joining us today. I know I learned a lot from this, and I hope that everybody that joined did as well. For the people that joined that are part of Civic Tech, thank you for joining. I can already tell that it's a lovely community, and I highly recommend anybody here that again has the background to reach out or to join. I think it's a great organization or a great community to be a part of. And again, it works wonderful for networking.